Hey guys, it's Silver Snorlax, and I am back today with PSA Returns. This is round 22. Round 22 is a smallish round, 50 cards exactly. As a matter of fact, I had to throw some cards in there that were my own in order to get the cards up to the minimum level PSA would accept. So this is a very small round, very short round. But regardless, I've still got all kinds of fun stuff in it. A lot of my stuff is stuff I previously opened and had a chance to grade, and I'm excited to show. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do everybody else's cards first, and then we'll do mine last. That's how I kind of planned it out. But we got a couple new users in here, as well as some returning favorites. So let's go ahead. We'll just jump right into it. First stack I got here from Richard Lim, who sent before. He sent a couple of Charizards, if I remember correctly. Got XY Wild Blaze, Japanese version Gem Mint 10, and the Y version of Charizard, also Gem Mint 10. Then just a standard Charizard EX, also Gem Mint 10. So straight 10s for him. Very nice. Good cards to have in Gem Mint 10. Next up, Bowser Boy TCG, who was sent before. He sent a couple of cards I had not seen before, including some X and Y promos. This one came back. This is a, according to the label at least, this is a Pitches Pikachu Holo J-League Soccer, the second printing. This one came back as an excellent 5, which tells me there's a crease somewhere on it. I looked it over and I couldn't find it, but this is normal whenever they grade a 5. Actually, you know what? I think I found it already. Top corner here has a crease on it, hairline crease. Very difficult to detect unless you're really looking for it, so that's why I came back as a 5. But the other ones came back just fine. This is the first printing of the Pitches Pikachu. This one came back as a Gem Mint 10. And then this is Team Japan's Pikachu promo. Pokemon New Monty. It's got a little Adidas sign on it. Little symbol. It's kind of cool because it's something I had never seen before, so excited about that. So there's a Gem Mint 10 again. He also had a Lucario Full Art, Japanese version, graded, came back as a Mint 9. And I'm probably going to botch the name on this one, but it's another Full Art Karina, according to the label, Karina Rising Fist First Edition. Came back as a Gem Mint 10. So not a bad send-off at all, really. We got that one hairline crease that most people tend to miss, quite frankly. A lot of people tend to miss hairline creases. Every once in a while you'll notice I'll get a return back and there'll just be like a random 5 a bunch of 9s and 10s and stuff, but it's almost always due to a crease that's very difficult to detect. So let's keep moving along here. This video should be fairly quick because of the size of the round. And that's from Almost Meta. He sent a couple of Gold Stars. We had Mewtwo Gold Star and a Red Gyarados Gold Star. Both of those came back as a Mint 9. So never bad when you can get a pair of 9s on Gold Stars, ever. It's always a good thing. Next guy up, I have Oshawott Kings. He sent a couple of cards in. Some English stuff here. We've got a little Flash Fire Pokemon Center Lady. This is a Mint 9 Full Art. Iris Mint 9 Full Art. It's a very colorful card. I like how colorful it is. Kind of a rainbow effect in the background there. The card I would like to own. This is a Rare Candy Plasma Blast Gem Mint 10. We have a Xerneas Full Art. Xerneas EX, again, very colorful background, very rainbow-esque. Came back as a Mint 9. And a Jirachi EX came back as a Gem Mint 10 from Plasma Blast. So very nice. Good job on the full art there. Those are hard to come back as 10s a lot of the time. We'll do this larger stack. This is from a fellow, the YouTube username who's very long, Danny Gucciestaro. I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's quite long. It's at least 10 letters long, and I am not one for pronouncing things. If you've watched this channel at all in the past 4 months, you know I have a difficult time pronouncing pretty much anything. So, but he does have some cool cards here, and I want to focus on those, so let's go ahead and jump right in. We have a Rayquaza EX, English version, it's a Mint 9. Just a nice card. These were actually very popular for the longest time. Dragons Exalted, that was kind of like the card to get out of that particular set. So I actually got a number of them come through my grading service previously when that set was first out. It was a big card to get. Next, this one surprises me a little bit. This is a Charizard EX, the full art version from Flashfire. Comes back as a near mint 7, and it looks like it might be a little bit off-centered if you look at the top and the bottom borders. I don't know how well that's going to come up on camera, but you can see bottom border versus the top border. Throw my light on it a little bit, you can kind of see. But definitely on the back side, you can definitely tell there is a distinct difference between border sizes. Look at that top border versus that bottom border. If I were to bring out a ruler, I would guarantee you this is almost half the size of that. So I mean, it's like really off-centered for a Pokemon card. It might have been at the top of the sheet when they cut it. So, but it is what it is, and it's still a nice card. It still displays well, so there's nothing wrong with it, certainly. This one's looking a little sharper. Same card, different grade. This one's a mint 9. And you can see, let's look at that bottom border versus that top border. They're very close to identical. I think you got a 9 on this one because of the corners. The corners are a little off. Looks like they had those little white specks. That's all it takes for PSA to downgrade you from a 10 to a 9. Another mint 9 Charizard. Again, looking at those back borders, you kind of see what's going on there. Looks like the same deal on the corners, quite frankly. So you can see there, that one's all evened up. Here's a card I would like to own, Thundurus EX from Plasma Freeze. This came back as a Gem Mint 10, so very, very nice there. Thundurus is one of my favorite Pokemon. It was a big one in VGC 2011. Flashfire Mega Charizard came back as a Gem Mint 10. These are hard to come back as Gem Mint 10s. I don't see a lot of them, but this one came back strong for him, so I'm pleased for him there. Very nice. Another Mega Charizard EX. It's the X version. This is only a mint 9, which is what I normally see. I see a lot of mint 9s on the Mega Charizards, except for this one, which came back as a Gem Mint 10. Very cool. Take a look at the back there. She's in very good shape. It's a very, very fantastic card to get in that grade. Another good grade, another card I would like to own, Empoleon Secret Rare from Plasma Freeze. It's Gem Mint 10. And I don't see a lot of Secret Rares as Gem Mint 10s for whatever reason. I see a lot of 9s. A lot of these newer printings, I see a lot of 9s come out, and I don't know why. But, well, I should say I do kind of know why. A lot of times they're not centered correctly, they're not cut quite right. But it's great to see a couple Gem Mint 10s finally come through on this channel. I know I've been getting a lot of 9s as of late, but seeing the Empoleon as a Gem Mint 10, that's awesome. So, fantastic job there. Another Gem Mint 10 Secret Rare, Ultra Ball. Cards I would love to own, definitely. Ultra Ball's a cool one from Plasma Freeze. One of my favorite Pokemon since the first generation was Kangaskhan. Still is. Mega Kangaskhan is pretty cool. This one came back as a mint 9. A Dragon's Exalted Rayquaza, mint 9. And then he had a couple of these come in that were graded. Charizard from Plasma Storm, the Secret Rare version. I believe he had 3 graded. And he got a 9, an 8, and another 9. Which, quite frankly, if you can get more 9s than 8s, you're in good standing. A lot of the cards, a lot of the Charizards that were printed from the set grade an 8 because of how off-center they are. I know I had several graded myself, and a lot of them came back as 8s, not 9s. Definitely didn't get any 10s. Very hard to find a 10. But hey, you got more 9s than 8s. That's always a good thing. So that leaves one last user stack and then my own cards. This guy has actually changed his YouTube username. It's The old one was Chochi Akamichi, I believe that's how it's pronounced, but he has since changed it. I'm sure he will leave a comment stating who he is. But he has some cool stuff, some older stuff that I like to see. First one up is Arcanon EX. It's a Gem Mint 10. It's great artwork on it. I like the artwork on it a lot. You can see how it shines there with the fire kind of sparkling around Arcanine. Very cool card. Here's a money card for you. This is a Shining Raichu from Neo Destiny. It's a Gem Mint 10. It's first edition. Great card. Fantastic to any collection. Another Gem Mint 10. This is Rocket's Entei EX from Rocket's Gang Strikes Back. Nice card there. This card I like a lot. This is a Rocket Scyther EX. Again from Rocket's Gang Strikes Back. Came back as a Gem Mint 10, which is gorgeous. I like how Scyther looks there in the card. Suicune, same set. This one came back as a Mint 9, however. See there. And then this is something kind of unique. I've sent this very same card before to PSA, and they don't always get it right when they label it. But this is, in fact, a Chinese Zapdos. You'll notice the symbols on it are different from the Japanese lettering. Not to mention, the two languages are completely different, obviously. I know a lot of people kind of compare them as the same. They are not anywhere near the same. If you kind of look, I've always compared them like this. You just take them side to side. You look at the Japanese lettering, and it's a little more free-flowing versus the Chinese versions, which it's more of a block. It comes out as more of a squarish shape. That's how I've always identified the two. But you can see this is a Chinese one. It came back as a near Mint 8, but these are fairly hard to find. First edition version. I always found it interesting the first edition stamp was still done like the traditional American versions. But yeah, there's a Chinese version. We don't see those all the time. Another cool one here, we got Blastoise EX. Came back as a Gem Mint 10. Flight of Legends, Japanese set. It's a first edition card. We got the Venusaur. Same set, Gem Mint 10. First edition, the whole 9 yards. And here's the big one for you. Gem Mint 10 Charizard EX. So that's awesome. He has a full set there of all the starter Pokemon. You could probably sell those for more on eBay as a group of 3. So if you're into reselling, I recommend selling them all as a lot. You probably get more for them. And finally, last one here is a Shining Steelix as a Gem Mint 10, Neo Destiny. Another good card to add for a lot of collectors, so that's another high money card. So very cool, very awesome stuff. So that does it for user rounds. We've just got my own cards to go over. Some of it's stuff I unboxed recently, and I now get to kind of showcase now that I've been at PSA for a couple, 3.5, 4 months. Alright, so you guys remember I opened up a box of Topps not long ago, Topps Series 1, and I had a number of those cards graded more or less to see where they would grade. I knew not everything was going to be Gem Mint 10, which does not surprise me at all, as those cards are very old, and it's always something, this is a good lesson to learn if you're watching, you're saying, well, I see this box, a sealed box up on eBay for, $300-400, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to open up all the packs and have everything graded, everything will be a Gem Mint 10. This is a very good lesson in why that is not ever the case. The box I got was brand freaking new, and it had never been opened, looked like it hadn't been moved at all, but a lot of the cards I got back were not Gem Mint 10s. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ones I had graded. I had the Charizards graded from the set. The first one came out was a Charizard that was near Mint 8, not the holographic version. I didn't get a holographic Charizard in that opening. I did get a holographic Charmander and Charmeleon, but no Charizard. So I got an 8, followed by another 8, and I tried to look them over and figure out why they would just get 8s. My guess is largely due to the corners. If they're not super sharp, PSA will not will not grade them as high. So, but I'm sure there's other things wrong with it as well. Generally, if it's just the corners, they're just going to bump you down to a 9. If it's something more than that, then they'll bump you down to an 8. So I'm not entirely sure why I got 8s on both Charizards, but I'm sure there's something I'm not seeing that PSA does. Then I had a couple of the holographic ones done as well. This one I knew wasn't coming back high. This was Bulbasaur I had pulled fresh from the pack. It only came back as a near mint 7. Again, guys, if you're looking to, open up a fresh box, a lot of times they do not come back as gem mint 10s. This one I got, I knew it was damaged. This whole left side of the card is, it's kind of, I don't want to say flaky, but it's just kind of like basic edge wear. It's white, you can see where it is. The back of the card is actually in fairly decent shape, so that's a good thing. But I did get the holographic Bulbasaur done, as well as the Ivysaur, which came back as a mint 9, so that's pretty cool. And finally, the big brother of the set, the Venusaur, also a mint 9, hoping for a 10, but not so lucky in my endeavor there. Probably got me on corners again. The card itself is in pretty solid shape, though. That's all I can ask for, really. So out of the whole top set, really, if I can get 9s, that's pretty good. Gem mint 10s, I imagine, are wildly difficult to get. Got a fan favorite done, Pikachu. Figured maybe I could sell that for, 10, 15 bucks or whatever. Near mint 8, that's probably closer to 10. But hey, who knows? Who knows what the demand is on just random Pikachu cards? So that's kind of cool, though. There's the back there for you. And then this one I was very disappointed in. Alakazam is one of my favorite Pokemon ever, and I was hoping this one would grade a little bit higher than it did. I know exactly why it graded the way it did. A number of the cards I opened from this particular box were, they had like this white kind of squiggly line on the sides or around the edges or something to that effect. I wasn't sure if that was considered a printing defect or if that was straight damage. I guess the way PSA looks at it when they look at it and they kind of assess it a little bit, that must be straight damage. That's not printing error or anything else. So it's on a number of the cards I unboxed. Unfortunately, that's probably due more to age, them having been in there so long. However, it was still a fun box to open, so I really don't mind. But this is the Alakazam that I pulled from that particular opening. And there's just kind of some white squiggly lines on the side. Back of all these cards are pristine, absolutely. Every single one I looked at, I mean, they're sharp, they look good. There's no damage to them. Corners might be a different story, but the cards themselves are in great shape. So very cool to get them back the way I did. I also graded some other stuff. I had bought a whole bunch of jungle cards, commons and uncommons. This was kind of a test card for me to see if how they would grade. I took one of the better ones. It came back as a mint 9. I could probably look it over and tell you exactly what's wrong with it and why I didn't get a 10, but it was kind of a test card for me. So I just had one of these graded. Mint 9, nothing wrong with a mint 9. I'd love to get a graded jungle set going as soon as I finish base set, which, who knows when that's going to be. And then I had 2 more cards graded that I had pulled myself. This was Mega Charizard EX from Flashfire, came back as a mint 9. And a Full Art Jirachi, which was a mint 9 as well. So, that'll do it for right now, guys. This is the last day of my vacation, so I'm going back on my hiatus for a while. Plan on making that return back in January when I restart PSA grading. The channel in general. Probably, to be fair, won't be as active as I have been in previous years, as my job is quite demanding and it's on an odd shift, so I really can't get to a computer as frequently as I used to. It's a lot of me going to work, coming home, going to sleep, waking up, going back to work. So there's not a whole lot I can do on that one, but I'm going to try and be more active in the community again. Now that I've got pretty much everything done and out of the way. This video kind of marks me not owning anybody's cards at any point. If you're watching this, that means I have return shipped everything. I do not have anybody's cards at all. So yay, good, awesome thing there. But game plan for me is come back in January and we'll just kind of take it from there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, being so supportive. I appreciate this community and how supportive it has been of me, as well as many other users. So, hey, thanks a lot, guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you guys again sometime next year. Alrighty then.